Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be looking at more gut feeling stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. My girlfriend met up with a work friend at a bar. This girl was with a guy who gave me seriously bad vibes. He was fake friendly, but his eyes were crazy. My girlfriend didn't see it. I wasn't having it. I told her I was leaving and she really needed to come. We fought. I left. She came running after. Next morning, we find the guy stabbed someone in the chest and killed the guy. I straight up said, "I told you so." He was crazy. Girlfriend's friend spent the night in holding too. Wow. That could have been him that he wanted to stab. That's crazy. I definitely do feel like some people give you a bad vibe, for sure though. A few years ago, I had a day off work and decided to get some Christmas shopping done. It was late November and the mall near me was having some really good sales. But as I was driving there, I started having this weird anxious feeling. Like the closer I got, the more anxious and uneasy I felt. So instead of going right to the mall, I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts for a drink and snack. I couldn't shake the anxiety, so I sat in the parking lot for a bit while I ate and drank. I opened up the news on my phone and the first thing that pops up is a shooting at the mall I was headed to. Obviously, I went straight home. Did all of my Christmas shopping online that year. Wow. I just had a feeling. One time I was hiking after a storm and my intuition told me to freeze. I listened and a large tree just fell down across the trail in front of me. Right where I would have been if I didn't stop. What the heck? They could have gotten squished by a tree. I think maybe they heard something too. And they were like, oh, wait, something's not right. Like, I feel like your brain just warns you, but sometimes you don't even notice it. When I was in my late teens and early 20s, I was with a friend at a club. Met some guys who said there was a party they were throwing. I was driving, so I figured it couldn't hurt to check it out. Get to a hotel room and it's just us two girls with at least 4 guys. I already felt something bad would happen, but decided to drink as much of the booze before bugging out. I remember quite vividly standing at the mini fridge and my friend was sitting on one of the 2 beds. She was holding one beer and talking about how drunk she was. Oh my god, I'm so drunk. And no sooner than she starts saying this, these guys started moving in on her like a group of hyenas going in for the kill. I immediately knew we had to get out. I just walked over to her and told her I needed to talk to her outside and grabbed her by the wrist and kept walking down the stairs from the hotel door. She fought me the entire time and I had to scream at her to get in the car. By the time the guys figured out we were leaving, they were at the door of their room throwing things at my car. I know I saved my friend that day. She never thanked me. Wow. Because she didn't know. She was too drunk to even realize, I think. But you did well, okay? You did well looking out for your friend. Trusted your spidey senses. Good. Not necessarily saved my life, but saved me from getting seriously hurt. I was a temp worker at a warehouse. Worst 9 months of my life. I wanted to die. One day my boss, who had no training on the forklift, told me to climb up on a ladder and move something out of the way of the forklift. And my gut said, tell her to turn the forklift off first. So I did. She scoffed and said it was unnecessary, so she got this other guy to do it because I was being difficult. Well, she moved the fork up and smashed his fingers against the ceiling, breaking every finger on his hand besides his thumb. The badass just went ow and was like, about time I retire anyways, huh? He was like 70. What in the world? How is he so chill about it? And the boss is so freaking stupid. Obviously safety first. What are you thinking? Oh my god, that 70-year-old though. Jeez. He broke every finger on his hands. And he was like, ow, guess I gotta retire. That's a sign. Crazy. My boyfriend was at work and I was bathing our son before bed. I had the bathroom window facing the backyard very slightly cracked and heard a cough from outside. This house was in a residential neighborhood, so it could have been a neighbor, but I suddenly felt anxious and scared and something told me to go make sure the back door was locked. I left my 2-year-old son alone in a towel in the bathroom and ran to the back door. As I placed my hand on the doorknob locking it, I came face to face with someone through the glass, who had his hand on the outside doorknob. He started pounding on the door and juggling the doorknob, saying he was looking for someone, and I just told him no, they're not here. He kept jiggling the doorknob, and I ran to my son and grabbed my cell phone to call for help. Anyways, I called 911 from the bathroom on my cell, while hearing loud pounding on the back door. I have no idea how police got there so quickly, but just as I hear the back door glass break, the guy on the phone tells me to cover my son's head with a blanket and run out the front door into the back seat of the police car. I ran out the front door and saw 6 or more police cars, all with guns drawn, and straight into the waiting cruiser. After they arrested the guy, they asked me if the machete on the back porch belonged to the owners of the house. The guy had a machete, and had I not trusted my gut that the cough sounded a little too close and to check the back door, he would have walked right into an unlocked house to a 19-year-old female and her young son alone. Turns out he had been robbing houses and had a backpack full of stolen things and was high. Anyways, super glad I followed my gut on that one. The timing. Whoa, that's freaking scary. The fact that he was about to open the door and she locked it at the same time. Whoa, good that she trusted her instincts and was like, wait, that cough was too close. That's suspicious. Whoa, scary. I was driving home from a friend's house late one night. I was probably 16 to 17 years old and had a Mustang, so I was getting it down a back road when I heard this loud "slow down now" in my head, louder than the music I had cranked up. I immediately slowed down to well below the speed limit, and when I came around the next turn, there was a train coming across the unmarked tracks. There were warning signs about the tracks. I knew they were there as I had traveled that road many times, but there were no lights or cross arms, and I had never seen a train on those tracks before. Add to the fact that there were woods on either side of the road, so it would be almost impossible to know if a train was coming at night. Wow, they could have been hit by a train and just died instantly. As if there's no lights though. That's so dangerous. Maybe it was like a malfunction that day. Man, they're lucky. Dude, it's always a bad idea to have music so loud cranked up at night though, because I feel like you gotta be more aware at night, just in case. When I was 16, I was asked out by a guy who gave me the creeps. I told him no repeatedly, and eventually he began stalking me. I moved out of state for school and then found out he'd murdered 2 women who had rejected him. Oh my gosh. Like, did he plan to like murder her too? Probably, hey. Thank gosh they moved. That's so crazy. One decision could change your entire life. I was working in the sales office at an engineering company. I was asked to record the serial numbers of a stack of large steel plates on the shop floor. I had to get someone with crane operating experience to lift the top plate so I could read the one underneath. The guy lifted it about 6 feet into the air to give me some room to see what was underneath. I was just about to lean underneath the plate when a little voice inside my head said, "Don't do that, mate. Get him to move the overhead plate to one side so that you're not having to lean underneath it." Just as I thought that, the clamp holding the overhead plate failed and it fell to the ground. Just in front of me. The plate weighed about a ton. If it had fallen on my head, I'd have been killed instantly. How do they not have like these safety rules, you know? Like, jeez. Everyone's just risking their lives working in these companies. Offshore fishing. Wanted to jump in to cool off, but something felt off. Just then the shark fin surfaced, and a nice-sized great white circled the boat a couple times and disappeared. To be fair, I'd probably be fine, but I was done with the water for a day. Oh my gosh, that's my freaking biggest nightmare. That's the reason why I hate oceans, is because of the monsters beneath. Like, I don't mind the beach close to the sand, but hell no to deep waters. No thank you. There was a mass shooting at my university in February. When we were notified, we were in an unlockable classroom inside of a public building, so everyone just ran. I was going to go to my car and go home, but I went with my friend instead because she had illegally parked right by the building and it was closer. I found out after we got to her apartment that the shooting was happening right by where I parked while we were running away. Wow. Dude, it's so crazy how all these people are like one decision away from death. Smart of them though to go with their friend because their friend was closer. So yeah, definitely don't risk it. I was at a party off campus with a very annoying friend of my then girlfriend, now my wife. We were waiting for my girlfriend and another of her friends to show up. The guys hosting the party were sketchy looking, and I had a drink of beer and jet out vibe. I was talking to someone I knew from class, and I turned around and saw my wife's friend who was sober 10 minutes ago, stumbling and slurring while some dude was walking her to the basement. I ran over, told him to get the F off my girlfriend, and suddenly I was surrounded by 3 guys, telling me to F off, and they were all partying downstairs. The guy who I was talking to walked over with some of his friends, and I took the opportunity to get her out of the party and called my girlfriend and told her to not go. We met up at the local Waffle House and we fed her friend, gave her coffee and got her to her room. I later found out another girl wasn't as lucky. The guys held her in the basement for 3 days assaulting her. The guys didn't do a day in prison because the girl left town and never came back as soon as she could and refused to testify. I always felt guilty about it, although I still don't know what I could have done differently. No, you did everything you could. Like, there's really no way of stopping someone from doing something bad if they really wanted to do something bad. So, the fact that he even saved his friend was big, for sure. You know, he even pretended to be her boyfriend and was like, get out, that's my girlfriend. And he got her out of the party, and then he made sure that she was safe after too. Like, that's already a very good thing. The other girl honestly was just unlucky that she also had no one watching over her when she was drunk. That's sad. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!